Hey everyone, how's it going? Sober Mel today. Friend's birthday party's over. I'm now chilling at home, relaxing, preparing for the next day. Um, and so I just wanted to say and warn people before I continue this video, this subject matter is pretty dark, in that it's pretty touchy and it may offend a lot of people. Now, I must clarify that my channel is for all types of women, technically, that kind of just want to be very independent via any means possible. And, you know, with the subject matter on my channel, using those methodologies specifically to achieve that. Um, and so it is technically for everybody, but it's primarily for black and dark skinned women. And so I feel like if you are not in that demographic, but you know your place, sorry, that sounds mean, but it's true. If you know your place and what I'm about to say in this video doesn't bother you too much, and you think whatever I discuss in the future concerning sugaring stories and I wouldn't even say tips and tricks. It's literally just what I've done because I've seen different things work for different people. But if you want to stick around for that, then by all means, you are more than welcome. But if you're one of those people that's going to be like, I don't think that this is a fair, then just fuck off. I don't care. I don't care. I have very decreased empathy because of how much I know about the world. And the more you know about the world, the less empathy you're going to have. Well, in my opinion, if you're a good person, a goody two shoes, then I guess then I don't know, you'll be more empathetic, but then that'll lead you to, I guess, being a mammy and overworking yourself to try to save the world when your demographic is literally the least likely to be benefited from the work that you've put in for other people. But anyways, I digress. So this video is just essentially talking about how you shouldn't give a fuck whenever a sugar daddy has a wife. You just have to focus on what is best for you, what you have to gain out of the situation, how much money you're getting, is he paying your rent, do you have a car from him, you know, like what vacations are you going. These are the things that you should be focused on. And I don't think ever that seeing like the fact that somebody's married should ever be a deterrent. And the reason why I say that is if you know the shit that white women have done in the past, because I guess I should clarify, all of my sugar daddies are white. If you count, I count Jews as white. I don't give a shit. So all of my sugar daddies are white. The main one is Jewish. The other two are white. And all the ones I've ever had were white. And so you shouldn't give a fuck if they're married, guys. You really shouldn't. That should not be a deterrent at all. Especially since when you look at the past and all of the things that have done to negatively disenfranchise your demographic, not only do I see reaping and fleecing money from rich white dudes as reparations, but I also see it as something that is not my responsibility when it comes to their own family. White women have spent generations being co-heirs to the white male patriarchy that has subjugated other groups of women for decades. White women literally delayed the right to vote for women for decades because they didn't want other women of color to vote. White women were primarily, besides white men, the one behind the overturning of Roe v. Wade. If you see how the work that they did, the shit that they did with their pro-life bullshit behind that, you'll totally see that. And the list goes on and on and on. They literally birth fascists. Every time you see like a racist white dude or whatever, he came out of a white woman's vagina. You know what I mean? Like they breed with fascists. Like they claim to care about women's rights. They really don't give a shit as long as they're reaping the benefits on their end. And because they breed fascists, they mate with fascists. They're born fascists. Their fathers are fascists. Like, we look like fucking idiots fighting for them for anything. Stop working alongside white women for anything and stop giving a shit about their well-being. You don't owe a girls type of mentality to white women. You really don't. And that's one thing that I keep in mind in these types of interactions. I don't owe them anything. When it comes to, at the end of the day, people align with what gives them the most power, right? Black males choose being male over their blackness, um, and white women choose whiteness over womanhood every single fucking time. And if you think that this is all in my head and I'm just bitter and jealous, go fuck yourselves. Why would I be jealous of women that are staying at home slaving away for husbands that are sending me thousands? Like, do you hear yourself? So don't even, before you even come up with that mentality, don't even fucking try it. um but if you don't believe me, look at the fucking voting demographics and how they voted last time. And if you see that, you'll know that consistently they have always voted against, like the majority of them, 53% of them voted for Trump or whatever. And you don't necessarily have to be into politics to be in my channel, but we know what it is. We know the game. And we know that at the end of the day, they can rah rah and scream about women's rights, but at the end of the day, if they know that they're going to lose their benefits for being white, they will stick with their white men. They will continue being willful breeders for these dumbasses, these pale apes. And like, I just use derogatory language for all men, especially well, that's another topic for another day. But that's what they do. And so I have no qualms at all with taking their husbands. I've been around white women literally all of my life, and I know exactly how they think. I was raised in the suburbs, was raised in a really Bible Belt South area with a lot of white faces, went to churches a lot because, I grew up extremely religious with my family, and, I went to their churches a lot when I broke away from my family after like going to college and things like that. And they just think a certain way. They're willful. They really disgust me sometimes, honestly, because of how dumb they are, how willfully brainless they are, when it comes to the things that their husbands are up to, the mentality that their husbands have. Like, they literally willfully shrink themselves and become little obedient incubators for white men. And so I don't give a shit that I'm fleecing money from him. I don't care if he has a family. I don't care if he has they'll be fine. You have a shit ton of privilege, and I guess technically so do I, given my current tax bracket, because of like, all of the hustling. Is hustle the right word? Because the way that I chose my work, I made sure to have as much free time as I wanted, to have the flexible schedule that I wanted, and to work the exact hours that I wanted. I can code anywhere and everywhere I want as long as I hit the deadline, and I can work at any timeline. I'm not obligated to be at a specific office, and that's just with a real job of my own. With the other stuff, with sex work, with sugaring and all of that, of course, that's literally completely up to my discretion. And so technically, like, yeah, I'm not, would it be hustling? Because hustling to me just kind of implies there's a large amount of hardship. And besides school being a pain in the ass, I can't really say that my current life is really like that. um, but but yeah, like they'll be fine. Their families will be fine, and their wives, like, whatever. Focus on yourself. Focus on your bag. If you focus on being quote unquote the good girl, you're going to miss out on a lot of shit. And I'm so serious. I want our demographic to be as selfish as humanly fucking possible. Be just as selfish as the white women, and then some, and then some. So that's literally all I had to say. Don't focus on being the good girl. Don't give a shit if he's married. In fact, it'll be easier if he's married. That means he has to go back home eventually, and then he has to like cater to his family and things like that, so that you can have time off of your hands whenever you want to do something. Now, the out of the sugar daddies that I have, the Jewish one is not married. He's an older single gentleman, but the other two are. And like, whenever I don't want want them in my hair, it's just very convenient. The wife calls home, where are you, this or that. They have to go on vacations with their families and all that shit. And yeah, like, it's literally just not something that, so they wouldn't be taking up so much of your time because they can barely have time to like split between a lot of the stuff. But when they do spend time with you, best believe they are willing to pay a pretty penny just to be in your presence as a form of escapism from their family. And again, that's what you should be focused on. If again that's still not your thing, then by all means just go out of your way to find like a single person, and whatever. I believe that single and married sugar daddies are easy to come by, but personally I just don't fucking discriminate. Because the higher payout that I got from some married dudes versus some single ones were definitely worth it, and I don't think you should cut your options short. So that's all I have to say. Be selfish, don't be the good girl. um Focus on where the money is, regardless of whatever other attachments they have. Focus on what you will get out of that. Anyways, if you guys want to have, if you guys want to know like how I met my other sugar daddies, and well, I think I already told a story about one of them after my friend's birthday party the other day, didn't I? Well, if you want stories about how I met them, how some of my friends met some of theirs, um, and I don't know if tips and tricks is the right word, but like just my stories, and if you want to share your stories, not only just with sugaring, but with any of the cam work you done. I have a lot of funny stories that to deal with that, some hilarious shit that takes place during that, but also I guess ways that I've grown my platform in that department as well. And I think that like when it comes to beginners, that's always best for them to do, because it's the safest option, as opposed to any of the alternatives that are like in person. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. This was fun. I had to get this off my chest. I really may make these videos like a daily thing. Who knows? But I'll see you guys later. Bye.